June 1985. A warm summer breeze drifts through the Ozarks. In the small town of Nixa, Missouri, about 10 minutes outside of Springfield, a close knit community of about 6,000 residents where everyone knows everyone, lots of churches, and the town centers around the school. There's a 20-year-old named Jacqueline Sue, Jackie Johns, and she was beloved. She was a waitress, a beauty queen, a young woman with a future ahead of her. Until one night, that future was stolen. This is Missouri Mayhem. I'm Megan.
And I'm Mindy. Thank you for being with us today. We hope your day is going well, and we appreciate you choosing to spend it with us.
Yes, a big thank you to all of our listeners, whether you're new, old. We really appreciate all of you.
Yes,
So
thank you.
our case today is going to take us to a year I don't think we've had a case in this
I don't
year.
think we have.
Around it, but not in 1985. So I don't know about you, but before I even looked anything up, I started thinking, like, what happened in 1985 that I can remember without looking
Okay,
anything up? And
okay.
the first thing I thought of was the Royals won the
Yes,
World Series.
yes.
So I remember sitting in the basement, watching it with Dad, and he had a button that would play "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," and it said like World Series had the Royals, and it was a button, and you'd push it would play that song.
It did?
And every time they'd score, he'd be like, "Hit the button!"
No,
Uh-huh.
I don't remember
It was
that.
so
Well, I
fun.
remember, was that the World Series where our TV quit and we had to run up and buy a brand new TV?
See, I don't remember
At
that.
the
At Western Auto up there
Yes,
uptown.
yes.
I don't remember
And it
that,
was a
but
big old thing.
yeah, ginormous, and it sat on the floor.
Yes.
So yeah, we played. Of course, it was the I-70 showdown because we played the Cardinals, and it
Yes.
went to a 7-game series.
Wow.
Also, for sports fans out there, if you did or didn't know this, Kansas City used to have a basketball team,
I did not know
an
that.
NBA basketball
Wow.
team called the Kansas City Kings, but they departed and, of course, have never returned in 1985.
Okay.
So didn't know that.
And we've never replaced them.
We have not. A couple other big events in the U.S. This was a big year for like supporting causes.
Mhm.
During this year was Live Aid, which helped the Ethiopian famine.
Yes, I remember that.
There was also USA for Africa, and this is where that super group of people sang, "We are the world,
we are the children.
we are the ones to make a brighter day, so let's start living,
living and giving.
And then also Farm Aid, which was Willie Nelson, John Cooper
Yes.
Mellencamp, all those people, and they, of course, were helping struggling American family farmers.
Yeah.
So this was a time of helping others. It was also an interesting time for technology because during 85, this is the release of Nintendo.
Oh,
In 1980.
wow, that's a big deal. Our grandma, that's a big
That's a big deal. The first official Nintendo. What are you doing, JoJo? I think she's trying to rub her back
Come here.
on my table, and she keeps tipping it over.
Oh, the dog.
Okay. So it was a good year for support, again, technology. Also, Microsoft released Windows 1
No way.
in 1985.
Windows 1.
Can you believe that?
No.
And do you remember this? Coca-Cola brought out new Coke in 1985.
It didn't go over well,
It
did it?
did not. Remember, they had because that was the age too of like the Pepsi Coke
The
blind
Pepsi challenge?
the Pepsi, yeah, blind taste
Those were
test.
so fun. They should bring that back.
They should. That was fun. What are you doing?
Let's just
JoJo?
set up
Have
a
seat.
Pepsi challenge on a corner somewhere.
$5 if you'd like to take the Pepsi challenge. We're bringing it back. Okay, now I know, again, the most exciting.
This is the most exciting
So
part.
the top names for girls, and again, I went Missouri, not U.S.
Really?
Because I think it's interesting.
Just Missouri.
Locally. So locally, the top 5 girls' names.
Okay.
Number 1, Ashley.
Ashley.
It does not surprise me. And you know what? According to Google, Ashley became a huge name around this time because of Ashley Abbott on Young and the Restless.
Oh, of
So,
course.
soap opera fans out there. So number 1, Ashley. 2, Jessica. 3, Jennifer. 4, Amanda. 5, Sarah.
It just doesn't change a whole lot.
80s are pretty consistent.
Man, you're named any of those. You are.
Jennifer and Jessica are pretty much in that
Yeah.
80s realm, no matter
Yeah.
what. And then boys, Michael,
Yeah.
Christopher, Matthew, Joshua, and David.
Okay.
So, yeah. All right. Are we ready to talk about our case today?
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So, you guys, as usual, we're going to start with our victim today, the person that's the heart of this story, and that is Jackie Johns. Jackie was born on June 7th, 1965, in Springfield, Missouri, and she grew up in Christian County, Missouri, which is near Springfield. And she was a small town girl with big dreams. She had a lot of goals. She had a big family, and big as in it was her and her three older sisters.
Okay.
So, four girls and her mom and dad, so a family of six, and they were a well respected and well loved family from Nixa. She graduated from Nixa High School, where she was prom queen,
Aw.
yes, and she worked at the Nixa Livestock and Sell Barn Cafe.
Okay.
Yeah, she
As
was
a
as a
waitress?
waitress, and she'd worked there for several years. And she'd also won some local pageants, and specifically their town. And I'm like, what? Their town has a festival every year, Nixa, called the Sucker Days Festival.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'm like, Sucker Days? Like lollipops? Suckers? I'm like, what are we talking about here? No, this was actually the sucker fish.
Oh,
They how this
suckerfish?
happened, no
In
one's
Missouri?
yes, so no, they
They
catch these sucker fish
Okay.
several weeks before the festival, and then they have a giant fish fry in
And
the
it's all
middle
the
of town.
suckerfish.
Yes, they
Okay.
have a carnival, and she was Sucker Days festival queen a year or 2 before this sad incident
She was the
happens.
sucker queen.
Yeah, and that was I mean, around there, that was a big deal.
That is a big
She got to
deal.
ride in a car in the parade, kinda like
Aw,
our little town,
aw,
when you
yeah.
so very cool. Friends describe her as outgoing, full of life, and any picture I've seen of her is exactly that. She looks
Yeah.
bouncy and vibrant and just this
Mhm.
giant smile, and that's how friends describe her. They said she's the kind of person who literally would light up a room when she walked in. And she had a really bright future. I guess there'd been some, misreporting, and her father wanted to make sure people knew that Jackie had already enrolled in college that summer. Like, she had goals because people were some people had said, well, she wasn't going to college, and I don't know if that bothered him, but he wanted to set it straight. She had goals and things that she was planning on doing.
Yes. Mhm.
The town also knew that Jackie loved her new car.
Aw.
And I'm not sure what year it was exactly, but she loved this car, and I will post a picture of it.
Okay.
But it was a sleek black Camaro. Looks like maybe from the late 70s, early
Yeah.
80s, super cool looking. It had red interior,
Oh.
and it was her car. And she had got what they call vanity plates, where
Mhm.
you personalize them,
Sure.
and hers said Jackie 1 on it. So everybody knew who
Yeah.
it was. Number 1 from the car,
Yeah.
because it was such a neat, cool car, and then her license plate, and they said it really reflected her personality. She's confident, she's bold, and she's unforgettable.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about the night Jackie disappears. On June 17th, 1985, Jackie finished her shift at the cafe, again, where she'd waitressed for years. From what I read, her boyfriend had pulled into the parking lot at the end of her shift. His name's Cody. And
Mhm.
she had gone out to talk to him really quickly.
Mhm.
And from what I saw in an interview, the fellow waitress who is a friend of hers working with her says, I actually remember being kind of irked because she's out there talking to her boyfriend and I'm in here cleaning up for the night.
Right. Right.
And she said, I remember looking out there thinking, get in here and help me,
I
girl.
need
Yeah,
help.
yeah. She said, but she goes, I finish up. She said, I walk out. And Jackie's like, oh, you're done. I'm sorry. And she's like, it's okay. No big deal. Yeah, everything's done inside. So when this girl left, Jackie was sitting there talking to Cody or was wrapping things up with Cody to leave for the evening. Now, after she left Cody alone, he was in his own vehicle. From what we know, she left in her car by herself. She made what was considered a routine stop at the local 7-Eleven that was literally like right down the road from where she worked, like 2 miles. This is after work at night.
Okay.
So we're
Okay.
talking about after her evening shift.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to be talking about 10, 11 o'clock at night. And again, this is only very close to where she worked. And then the 7-Eleven's like 5 minutes from her house.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is Nixa, pretty small.
Yeah.
Now, the people that saw her at 7-Eleven basically confirmed that this is the last time anyone ever sees
Her.
Jackie alive.
Okay.
Yes, at the 7-Eleven that night. So, it early the next morning, so June 18th, so June 17th night, she goes, uh, leaves, goes to the 7-Eleven. That's the last time we see her. That morning, So
The next
the
morning.
next morning, fairly early, a delivery driver is driving down this road, not far again from where Jackie lives, and sees her distinct black Camaro
Sure.
pulled over and abandoned,
Jackie won.
yes, on the side of Highway 160, US 160. And this road runs between Nixa and Springfield. And instantly, this person, again, knowing the town and knowing everyone, was like, this is Jackie's car.
Yeah.
See the license plate? This is Jackie's car.
Mhm.
And so pulling up, seeing it's empty, thinking, okay, that's strange, called Jackie's boss, who I guess must have had phone number for
Mhm.
Jackie's boss at the cell barn. Her boss, of course, thought that was strange too, so he drives out to the car and he notices, because the other person didn't like go up to the car,
Right.
just noticed it. He actually walks up and notices the driver door is basically kind of half open.
Okay.
And inside, he sees some very disturbing things. He sees her purse. He sees a pair of jeans with one leg turned inside out,
Oh.
only one leg. He sees what he thinks are women's garments in the floorboard of the
Mhm.
passenger seat. And he sees what he thinks is a large amount of blood
Gosh.
inside the car. He's realizing very quickly something is very wrong here. And he calls the police right away.
Mhm. Okay.
Now, when the police get there, they see all this evidence that her boss saw, but they also are like, we've got to pop the trunk because could she be in the trunk?
Oh gosh.
So in a very harrowing, scary way, they pop that trunk open and thank goodness she's not in there. But what they do find is a car jack with blood and hair on it.
A car jack.
A car jack that you would use to pump up a
Yeah,
tire.
yeah.
Yes.
Huh.
So of course, very disturbing.
Mhm.
Word spreads so fast around town. I mean, small town again, people hear very quickly, and this town, they organize. Pretty much everybody in town comes with their four-wheelers, their horses, and they start a grid map of the area around that car. And they just start walking and tracking.
Okay.
And within 4 days, it does take 4 days, 4 days later, on June 22nd, 1985, her body is discovered floating in Lake Springfield
Gosh.
by two fishermen. Terrible. The coroner's report would reveal what happened to Jackie. Jackie had suffered blunt force trauma to the head. And listeners, you're probably already thinking that was probably the car jack.
Yep.
Well, that's consistent with blood and
Mhm.
hair. And sadly, she had also been sexually assaulted or raped. Now, the investigation heats up very quickly. They're like, we have a lunatic on the loose. This is a beloved resident of Nixa.
Yeah.
Things like this don't happen around here. We
Mm-mm.
protect our own, and what is going on?
Yeah.
Now, at first, of course, who do you think police are going to question right
The
away?
boyfriend.
The boyfriend. I mean, and that's normal. So,
And he was the
boyfriend,
last one to see
and
her.
he did. He was one of the last few people to see her. Now, the only thing Cody had going for him was that people saw Jackie at 7-Eleven alone.
Okay.
He wasn't with her. They never saw his vehicle around there.
Mhm.
So that was to Cody's advantage. Also, Cody, he was a local cowboy and a ranch hand. I'm
Mhm.
not sure how long they'd been dating, but they'd been dating for a little while. But they said, number one, Cody has never been perceived to be the jealous type,
Yeah.
aggressive at all. Now, that doesn't mean he couldn't have lost it.
Right.
But they just thought, he doesn't have any motive to
Mhm.
hurt Jackie. Like, as far as they knew, they had a great
Now,
relationship.
were her tires flat or anything like that?
Nope.
Like she'd had a flat tire?
Nope,
Okay.
nothing like that. Now, Cody admitted to investigators that he was home alone on that night, that he had seen her at work.
Mhm.
They'd talked for a while. He'd left. And then, yeah, basically that she had said, I'm going to stop at 7-Eleven and go home.
Yeah.
He went home. He said, I was there by myself, so I don't have anybody to corroborate it. He's
Yeah.
24, 25.
Mhm.
She's 20 at the time. So
Okay.
he's living on his own.
Yeah.
And at this time, she's the only of her four sisters still living at home with
Okay.
her parents. Yes. Now, again, technically he's lacking a physical witness, but police just believed at this point in time, we don't think he had anything to do with it. It's just not consistent with the timeline or anything. And there's no physical evidence of Cody. He let them look at his car, his
Mhm.
home, so none of that. So Investigators then are like, okay, it's not Cody, it's not the boyfriend. So let's then go to the cafe where she worked, since that's where she was leaving
Yeah.
from. Maybe there's some association with the cafe. Rumors had swirled that there had been a man who came in there quite often and would bring her flowers
Ooh.
and bring her gifts
No.
and constantly flirting with her. And it made her very uncomfortable. Well, they're like, okay, this could be a possible suspect.
Yeah.
So they look into this guy. Well, this guy was already in jail and had been in jail the days leading up
So
to
there's
jail.
no way he could
There's
have done
no
it.
way he could have done it. So
Okay.
he's eliminated. Now, the real breakthrough comes from witness reports. And you guys, this is what's important. When you see something strange or you see something you think's off, take note of it because it could come back into play
Yeah.
later. I just watched a documentary the other day about a woman who was working at her desk and looked out and saw something suspicious happening next door. There was a van that looked like a working van, and they were getting out ladders and doing stuff to this house. And she's like, that just feels weird. So she wrote the license plate down.
Okay.
She's like, I'm just going to write the license. Well, lo and behold, a week later, police are at her door. Her neighbors are dead. Do you see anything suspicious?
They've been dead for a week?
Yes, she had that license plate number, and those were the people who'd so you
Oh
never
my
and if she hadn't written
gosh.
that license plate number down,
I'm glad she didn't run outside and write the license plate down.
seriously, or try to approach them. So anyways,
Mhm.
so witness reports are important. Now, again, this isn't about Jackie per se, but this is about another vehicle that people noticed. This is a blue and white 1960s Chevrolet Cheyenne truck.
I can see it in my head.
It's a cool truck. It
Mhm.
really is. Blue and white. Very distinctive, had distinctive wheels that the owner had just put on.
Mhm.
Very old school. And this is a truck that very quickly people know who owns this truck. And not only did they see this truck, but they saw it at the same 7-Eleven. Some reports say it was even parked in the bank parking lot across the street,
Oh gosh.
watching the 7-Eleven
Oh,
at the same time Jackie was there that evening.
that's not good.
Now, who owns this cool looking truck?
Yeah.
Well, police knew. The police know automatically who owns this truck because nobody else in town has one like it. And this truck leads them to 28-year-old Gerald Carnahan. He's a Nixa resident and he is very wealthy because of his family. His
Okay.
family is a well connected group of people who own a town company called Springfield Aluminum Company. And this company, or this, where they have this barn for their company, was literally a mile from the cafe where
Okay.
Jackie worked. So very close. From what I read, they also owned some other businesses. I mean, so we're known to be basically the wealthiest family in Nixa, pretty much.
Okay.
And they employed a lot of people in Nixa.
I
That's
bet.
something too.
Yeah.
Now, he was known locally, again, around town, and Jackie had, from what reports say, actually been employed by Gerald at their barn or aluminum company, one of their businesses, for a brief moment in time. She had been
Okay.
employed there. Some coworkers said that he also came into the cafe often and made her feel uncomfortable.
Okay.
And not only made her feel uncomfortable, he kept asking her out, and she said no over and over. And he wouldn't quit asking her.
Oh gosh.
Could this be motive?
To
Maybe.
kill?
Maybe.
Oh.
Now, when questioned, Carnahan insists, no, I was home with my stepdaughter that night until 10:45, and then we all went to bed, and I never left the house again. And before Jackie's last sighting at the convenience store, which was around 11, if he says he's at home at 10:45 and
Mhm.
his stepdaughter says he never left, well, his alibi is being substantiated,
Yeah.
you know? Um, Again, she said, nope, he never left again. But this contradicts several witnesses saying, no, his truck was parked there. I saw it. I'm not seeing things. So this is contradictory.
Okay.
Now, Carnahan, of course, denies having hurt Jackie. But here's something strange. Police notice he has some cuts on his hands that look about 4 or 5 days old, 6 days old.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He goes,
Mm.
those are from a volleyball injury.
Oh, a
Volleyball.
volleyball,
I
huh?
mean, dude, your family owns an aluminum company. come up with something better than that. I don't know.
Or
I'm
cat
like,
scratch you or something, not a
seriously.
volleyball.
Yeah. So they're like, yeah, no. So police are feeling little suspicious. The truck we get reports of, you have these scratches, and they say, "Would you be willing to take a polygraph test for us?" He says, "Sure." He says, "Sure." They said, "You need to be back here tomorrow at 8 a.m. for this polygraph test." You think he shows up?
He
He
didn't?
did not show up.
Oh, no.
Immediately, police are like, "What is going on?" Well, they had found out that Gerald's family owns a plant of sorts or company in Thailand. And they start looking, and lo and behold, he's at the airport getting ready to get on a plane.
No, he is not.
Yes,
At that minute?
yes, to head to Thailand. So if you need any more suspicion on Gerald.
Oh my
So
gosh.
they hop skedaddle to the airport and
And grab
arrest Gerald
him.
before he can get on that plane. If he'd have
Good.
got on that plane,
Oh
woof,
my goodness.
not good. Now, despite suspicion, because everybody's like, okay, this is adding up. You're looking very weird here.
Mhm.
Police don't have any physical evidence leaking, linking, linking Carnahan to the murder. So they're like, okay, we can't let this guy go. What can we arrest him with?
Yeah.
Well, they charge him with what they call evidence tampering, not murder, because they don't have any
Yeah.
physical evidence. And they do this because they say he lied initially about his relationship with Jackie. Initially, when questioned, Gerald says, "I hardly even knew Jackie." Well, they quickly realize this is a lie because they start interviewing coworkers who are like, "No, he's in here all the time, stalking
Mhm.
her, almost harassing her, and what they called aggressively flirting with her."
Oh, yeah.
And police are like, "Okay, that's weird. We feel like, yeah, this
Ye
is giving him some clear obsessive motive
yes.
right here." Now, they knew that evidence tampering charge for this probably wouldn't stick,
Yeah.
and it didn't.
No.
So this charge is dismissed and Carnahan is released. Now, can you imagine how frustrating that would have to be for the family?
No.
Especially if they knew any of
Because
this
I would think, "Oh, he's
evidence.
heading right back to Thailand."
Well, yeah, like, is he just gonna, and that's, I think, what they were worried about.
Mhm.
I think one thing they had going for them was that Carnahan kinda thought he was untouchable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's released. This is 1985. This case, there's no evidence. There's nothing to put him behind bars. So this case starts to grow cold. And within the years of the late 80s and early 90s, Carnahan's life starts to spiral out of control. And again, Jackie's family's sitting over here having to
Yeah.
watch or wonder and have no clue, are we going to get resolution on
No.
this? So his life kind of goes out of control. And it's upsetting because we see this a lot. People get away with things and then they're let out and they get away with more. And you're like,
Yeah.
so many things could be stopped if we
Mhm.
could just get it right the first time.
First time, yeah.
But I know it's not always that easy. But, anyways, in 1993, Carnahan is convicted for the armed and attempted kidnapping of an 18-year-old woman in Springfield.
Okay.
Yeah, yes. Can you believe this?
No.
Again,
Yes.
yes, this is putting more suspicion on him. Now, this is weird. You know why this is weird? Because number one, he tried to do this abduction in the middle of a busy part of town. Pretty ballsy.
Springfield.
And he had someone with him, a friend. He had another person
Oh,
with him.
gosh.
So everyone said, like, he thought he was untouchable.
Yes.
I mean, that's pretty brazen. Thank God he did not get away with it. Now, while out on bond awaiting trial for this kidnapping, he just goes on a destructive local crime spree. Again, I think we've got a spoiled little rich bitch here, is what we've got.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
And this is crazy. So he's kidnapped. Again, he's waiting trial for that. In the meantime, he assaults an officer. Police respond to his house in July of 1993. So this is just literally like 2, 3 months after he tries to kidnap this girl, where an intoxicated Carnahan holds officers at bay with a shotgun and kicks a police officer
Oh,
before he's
wow.
arrested. Yes, he gets 15 months for assault and weapon possession.
Mhm.
That's July 93. September of 93, he breaks into the Custom Aluminum Foundry in Aurora, Missouri, and I don't know if this is like a competing aluminum
I was gonna
company.
say, this is another aluminum place,
Yeah, it
okay.
makes me wonder, I never did get the details on that, but he steals 60 grand worth of specialized equipment and intentionally sets the facility on fire.
Oh
Yeah,
my.
I mean, he pleads guilty to burglary, stealing, and arson, and he gets 4-year sentence. So 4 years for arson and 15 months for assault, waiting for the kidnapping charge. We got a really
Ah,
bad dude here.
yeah,
So finally, December of 93, this trial for the kidnapping, and despite I mean, he tried to kidnap someone. What would
yeah,
he have done if he'd actually
gotten away with
been
it.
successful? His family's wealth and a prominent local defense attorney who's known to really be good and use some tactics that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
What money can buy.
yeah, sure.
And basically, the attorney secures him a sentence of 2 years. That's it. 2 years for attempted kidnapping. Another strange connection comes from Carnahan himself. He claims he was questioned about the Springfield 3 disappearance from 1992.
No
Yeah, he
way.
claims that when he was in jail, police questioned him about that.
Okay.
Now, they didn't find any connection, of course. And these crimes, of course, none of these can directly tie him to Jackie's death either.
No,
They just know we thought this guy was a bad guy,
and he
and
is.
he is a bad guy. Now, because the judge let many of these sentences run concurrently, which
Mhm.
means the same time.
Right.
So instead of being like, you've got 4 years, 2 years, 15 months. No,
No,
all that's happening at the same time, which I think's bullshit.
it is.
He basically serves not much time. He's released after it looks like to me about 3.5 years.
Yeah.
And he's released on September 19th, 1997. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, he's released in 97. This has been 12 years now since Jackie was murdered. 12 years.
Since 97?
12 years since 1985.
Oh, okay, to
Yeah,
97.
yes.
Got it,
So she
yes.
was killed in 85. So he's done all this shit, gotten away with
Ah,
all this. Again, they don't have any evidence. And again, I cannot imagine how hard this is for her
her
family.
family.
No one's been held accountable, and I'm sure they're thinking, it's him. It's
Yes!
him.
Look at all the stuff he's done since. It's
Yes.
obviously him.
Now, for 20 years,
Oh,
this case
gosh.
lays cold. 20
20
years.
years.
Then, in 2006, the Missouri State Highway Patrol receives a substantial influx of federal funding monies, specifically earmarked for solving stagnant, historically cold cases,
Okay.
just like Jackie's. And this grant money gives troopers the time and priority of resources to pull decades old files off the shelf without pulling active detectives away from current homicides. So basically, additional people were hired to look at these cold
Good.
cases. Now, and
Good.
yes, it's amazing. Now, when the case was assigned to Missouri State Highway Patrol investigator Daniel Nash, he realized that the police were smart in 1985 because you know what they did?
Mm.
They collected DNA.
Oh,
Even
even when it wasn't
yes, and that's these police who in the 80s were smart enough to
they
collect
knew it
that,
was gonna happen.
and they knew she had been sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
So they had taken what ends up being a vital piece of DNA evidence, which is a vaginal swab from Jackie's 1985 autopsy, and it had been perfectly preserved by the
Good.
original investigators. And again, while 1985 testing was primitive, they couldn't do anything with it. By 2006, 07, this state of the art DNA technology, literally, you only had to have a microscopic sample, which
Yeah.
is amazing, to get a definitive profile. Now, her boyfriend, Cody, willingly gave a DNA sample up front,
Yeah.
and he was ruled out quickly.
Right.
They went ahead and ran that just to make sure it wasn't
Mhm.
Cody, not him. Now they're like, okay, we ruled him out.
Yeah.
We got to get Carnahan's
Yep.
DNA. Well, where is he? So when they start looking for him, guess where he's at?
Freaking Thailand.
He's out of the country.
Oh.
How convenient. So they're
Ugh.
like, we may never get this motherfucker ever.
Oh
We
my
may not.
gosh.
They're like, they call Homeland Security and they say, can you notify us the minute he comes back into the United States? And they didn't
Mhm.
know if that was going to be a week or 10 years. Yeah, they wherever he was at did not have great extradition laws. They're like, "We'd be fighting this for years."
Uh-huh.
So they're like, "Instead of tipping him off that we're coming after him again,
Uh-huh.
we're just gonna lay low and see what happens." Well, 6 months later, Homeland Security calls the police and says, "Here's the date he's returning. Here's the flight he's on." Yes.
Good.
So this is when he's returning. So they said he's going from Thailand via somewhere and then to Springfield. So they were waiting for him. Once in Springfield, they go to his office. So he's at his place of business.
Mhm.
They go to the lady at the desk and they say, "Hey, we're old high school friends of Gerald's, and we're planning a high school reunion. Can we meet with him real quick?" And she's like, "Oh, okay, sure." So these two detectives go in and sit down, and they said, he's like, "Is this about a high school reunion?" He's like, "You two don't look familiar." And they're like, "Actually, we're the police. We are here with a warrant for your DNA." And they said his face went, yeah. So they take his DNA, they shut the lab down, and within 24 hours, they've processed because they're like, we're not letting him get away because
No.
he wasn't under
He'll
arrest.
run.
Yes, they're like, we have to do this now. So they shut down the lab at the Highway Patrol, and within 24 hours, it's a match.
Match.
They finally have the evidence they need, and in 2007, in 2006, he's arrested, and in 2007, he was indicted for first-degree murder and forcible rape of
Good.
Jackie Johns. Yes. Now,
Wow.
isn't that crazy? I know,
Yes.
thank goodness he
20 years.
yes, 20 years. Now, jury selection began in 2009, so he's indicted in 2007. They get the jury in 2009, and in 2010, after 25 years, Jackie
Wow.
would have been 45.
Yeah.
45
Aw.
at this point. Gerald Carnahan is convicted and sentenced to life in prison without parole.
Good.
The family did waive the right to the death penalty to speed up the trial
Okay.
because Jackie's dad is 83 years old
Yeah.
at this time, and they want to make sure before he dies
That
that
he
this is resolved.
yes.
Yes. Now, the trial had several what people call jaw dropping moments. Carnahan initially claimed his alibi
Right.
that he was home with his stepdaughter, Sarah, the night of the murder.
Yeah.
But during cross examination at the trial, Sarah admits she went in her room, shut the door, went to bed around 11 o'clock, and acknowledged that it was totally possible he'd snuck out of the house while she was sleeping and she had no idea.
And he did.
And he did. And also a devastating blow to the defense. Carnahan's own brother had contacted authorities pretty quickly after the murder to let them know that he actually saw Gerald's car parked on the side of the road that led directly to Jackie's home around 11 o'clock on the night of her
That
murder.
would have
This
been
is his
helpful.
brother. Well, he reported it.
Oh,
But
okay.
again, there's no physical evidence. It's
Uh,
all circumstantial.
mhm.
And he even told the police, "Gerald asked me not to report this." He went to his brother and said,
Wow.
"Dude, I saw your car." And he said, "Don't report that." But couldn't tell him why his vehicle was there.
Right.
Also revealed, which I thought was sad, scary, awful, in her final days before she went missing, Jackie had confided in many close friends that she was feeling very unsafe and like she felt like someone was constantly watching her or following her.
I think she
And
was.
he probably was. Sounds
Yes.
like he was obsessed with her
It does,
for
and
sure. Yeah.
yes.
Now, when the guilty verdict was read, finally on September 23rd, 2010, the judge is always like, please remain silent. Don't show your emotions when the verdict's read. Well, they said Jackie John's family openly wept, were hugging, and a collective yes in the courtroom.
I
Yes, we
bet.
got him. And so I don't blame him.
I don't either.
Yes, because 25 years had passed since the murder. And their reactions were a mixture of relief, trauma,
Yeah.
grief, everything. And
Sorry, we can't be quiet right now.
no, we're not going to be quiet. Janice, Jackie's oldest sister, attended the trial in person, and she spoke to reporters immediately after the handcuffs were put on Gerald
Mhm.
Carnahan. And she said, I did not think this day would ever come. We were afraid it wasn't going to come out that way, but it finally did. Janice also noted that the gruesome 85 crime had completely destroyed her family's dynamic. She said Jackie was always the lively one, the
Aw.
energetic one that kept all of us going.
Yeah.
One of her other sisters, Jean, reflected on how much the final verdict hinged on the advanced forensic science
Yeah.
lab results. She said it got down to about 8 millionths of a gram of DNA. And then when he was convicted, it was like, oh, that was the most wonderful feeling in the world.
Yes.
Yeah. Les Johns, which is Jackie's
Mhm.
father, who was 82, 83 years old at the time and in failing health, he could not go to the trial because of his health. It was kind of a ways away for him. And since he wasn't, he was sitting there waiting for
Mhm.
his daughters to call him with the news of
Okay.
what had happened. And there were several reporters with him. I saw this segment, and
Mhm.
they watch him answer the phone and
Phone.
everything, and it's emotional.
Oh.
His post-trial interviews carried a world-weary tone, they said. He said, "People keep saying, 'Oh, good, you've got closure.' But he said, 'I hate that word closure. There's just no such thing. If people have had these shoes on, if people have been in my place,
Yeah.
there's no such thing as closure.
No.
Closure. It's with
I
you
mean,
every
if
day.'"
you lose a child in general, but
Oh,
especially not knowing and,
yeah.
you know.
Les remarked that while the verdict was necessary, it couldn't undo the damage, obviously, that had been done. He said, "There's nothing it could change. Like, it doesn't matter. Like,
Mhm.
we've lived this for
Yeah.
25 years, and Jackie and her mom would still be where they are today."
Yeah.
I think he feels like, Jackie's death maybe contributed. I don't know exactly what happened to the mom.
Mhm.
Her name was Shirley, but
Mhm.
it sounds like I'm sure the trauma and all this
Yeah.
was difficult for her.
Contributed to that,
Yeah.
yes.
Even after the conviction, Les expressed a deep seated fear that was rooted in decades of just watching Carnahan escape justice. In a later interview, Les says, he's going to get out. He will. I'm the only one that feels that way, but that's what I think. He's just felt like, this isn't going to stick. He's rich. He has these powerful lawyers. Poor guy. But luckily, that's not happened.
Good.
And Gerald Carnahan, guess where he's at?
Where?
Good old Potosi
Oh
Correctional
my
Center. There's a
gosh!
lot of bad
There's a
mamma-jammas
lot of
in.
bad people there.
Yes. Now, former Christian County Sheriff Dwight McNeil, which is who I watched the interview with and who
Uh-huh.
still, decades later, was highly emotional
Yeah.
because he knew the family
Mhm.
and he had walked this decades-long nightmare with them, and he echoed their sentiments. He said, "They've been pretty emotional today. I can't even imagine what they've been through." He said, "There's really nothing to celebrate here. It won't bring
Right.
Jackie back, but it does take this predator off the
Yeah.
streets, thank goodness." Now, what did the death of Jackie Johns mean for Nixa? A lot. We've talked about this before. When these kind of things happen, especially in small towns where everybody knows everyone, I
Mhm.
mean, this is awful for
Yeah.
everyone. I mean, neighbors wondered how someone so close, someone they saw almost on a daily basis, someone from a family who in all accounts, supported Nixa, could do something like this and with such brutality. And as mentioned before, some people in Nixa even believe that he might be involved in other regional
I think
disappearances.
so
I don't
too.
think this is his only.
No.
No. And most people, like I said, believe enough that it sounds like he was questioned about the Springfield Three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like you should have been.
Yes. This case also underscored how cold case units and DNA advancements can bring results and answers even decades later. And rather than allowing her to just be this forgotten statistic, her loved ones and the state of Missouri,
Yeah.
good on them. They turned her memory into something that's lasting. And here's what has been established in Jackie's honor. Immediately following her death in 1985, her high school classmates and close friends established what's known as the Jackie Johns Memorial Scholarship Fund. And it's managed through the Community Foundation of the Ozarks. And the funds awarded go to a financial scholarship to a graduating senior at Nixa High School every year.
Okay.
And this fund ensures that her name remains synonymous with education and support for her
Good.
community. From a legal standpoint, this case is also important because it serves as a master's class in
Mhm.
the importance of proper evidence preservation.
Yes.
The original 85 medical examiners and Nixa police and investigators meticulously kept physical samples very secure and safe for 2 decades
Good.
at the Missouri State Highway Patrol Crime Lab. And we've had many cases where evidence is
Oh,
lost,
yeah.
destroyed. Oh, I don't know what happened to it. And,
Yeah.
this being a prominent family,
Right.
You might be worried that some of that could happen, but
Yes.
kudos to Missouri police. Her legacy is heavily cited within law enforcement training, kind of like Libby
Yeah.
as well.
Mhm.
And they demonstrate how keeping crime scene DNA immaculate can eventually secure a conviction, even decades later when they think someone's gotten away with it. Jackie Johns, like all of our victims, is so much more than a headline. She was a daughter, she was a sister, she was a friend, someone with a life and dreams. And her memory just kept going, kept her family going. We will get justice. And finally, they
They
did.
did.
If for families listening today, if you're out there and you're still waiting for answers about a loved one or something that's happened, I mean, hold on to hope. I
Yeah.
mean, you don't know. Advances in science and dedicated investigators can maybe find answers for you.
Yes.
Um, but you do have to kind of be your own advocate,
Sure.
and keep things going. But her family never gave up hope, and you could tell that community loved her, and they
Mhm.
were going to find answers for her.
Yes.
So, Mindy, would you want to give a quick prayer for Jackie and her
Sure.
family and
Sure.
friends?
Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we just want to come to you today. And first of all, Lord, thank you so much that this case was solved, and that her family, I don't want to use the word closure, but that they got something out of that. I pray that you are with her family still, because there is no closure to that, really. And her friends and just everybody that knew her, her boyfriend who had to go through all of that, and just the town in general, Lord. We just pray that you will keep the Nixa safe and comforted. Um, and just for all of our listeners today, if you're having a bad day, we pray for you too and hope that your day gets better. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. If you're interested in, excuse me, learning any more about this case, if you watch Cold Case Files, there is an episode called Queen of the Ozarks, and I did get several pieces of my information from that because the police officer involved is the main person that's
Hmm.
interviewed. So it was really interesting. So you could go there to get some more information. You guys, thank you so much for joining us today. If you have a case that you want us to investigate, let us know. Reach out at Missouri Mayhem Sisters at gmail.com. And don't forget, if you can, just really quickly give us a quick rate and review wherever you listen to us. All right.
This has been Missouri Mayhem. I'm Mindy.
And I'm Megan. Don't forget to stay safe, stay kind, and stay curious.
Peace
Peace
out.
out.